Hello and welcome to Inside Edition, where we discuss national, regional and international issues in depth. The Kingdom of Bahrain enjoys a strategic position in the heart of the Arabian Gulf, which provides it with an opportunity to meet the area's essential cargo demands and needs. Khalifa bin Salman Port offers capacity, efficient operations, fast turnaround times for vessels and short transit times. The port's location makes the kingdom an ideal choice for carriers transshipping containers to the Gulf region. To talk more about the role, stages of development, achievements and inspired goals, we are pleased to welcome here in the studio the CEO, Managing Director of APM Terminal Bahrain, Maureen Bannerman, who is one of the leading female figures in the global shipping and logistics industry.
Driven by Bahrain's Economic Vision 2030, the Kingdom of Bahrain has rapidly moved forward during the rule of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, King of the Kingdom of Bahrain, with a focus on providing all Bahrainis more opportunities. Based on the principles of sustainability, fairness and competitiveness, Vision 2030 included an ambitious privatization program, including the telecommunications, power and ports industries. Ports privatization was successfully achieved and Khalifa bin Salman Port was officially inaugurated by His Majesty the King in 2009. Led by APM Terminals, a global leader in port operations, the port has served as a launchpad for business, empowering local manufacturers and suppliers as a key enabler to compete globally. On the 9th of December 2018, APM Terminals Bahrain converted into a public company and got listed on Bahrain Bourse with 800 plus shareholders, providing opportunity for Bahrainis to benefit and be part of this success story. Around 85% of total shareholders are Bahraini shareholders. The share price has almost doubled since listing and has outperformed the benchmark Bahrain Bourse Index as well as S&P GCC Index. With an estimated 90% of the goods we consume entering through KBSP, the port is one of Bahrain's busiest hubs for trade and commerce. Situated adjacent to the Bahrain Logistics Zone, the Salman Industrial City, and within close proximity to the Bahrain International Airport, KBSP is setting the standards in the region for efficiency and ease of doing business. KBSP has an increasing focus on future growth industries, such as the e-commerce industry. The port's lift system, an advanced digital solution enabling customers to book appointments online and take delivery of their containers and cargo, has elevated the port's efficiency to a new level with regards to providing speed and convenience. KBSP is more than simply an infrastructural development. It's a port where around 800 Bahrainis have developed their careers and enjoyed growth opportunities. A port that's conscious about environmental challenges and works towards sustainable operations. A port that works to stimulate success in partnership with all its stakeholders across government and the private sector. Working hand in hand, the Ministry of Transportation and Telecommunications and APM Terminals work to help move the Kingdom of Bahrain forward, providing opportunities for people and commerce. As we celebrate the port's 10 years of success, we look ahead optimistically with solutions to face the challenges of the next 10 years. Together, Khalifa bin Salman Port, moving forward to economic excellence.
Welcome back. Joining me in the studio is Ms. Maureen Bannerman. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Ms. Bannerman, Khalifa bin Salman Port is considered as one of the best of its kind in the region in relation to the container vessel productivity, its efficient customs processes, as well as its gate turn times, which are important technical terms in this regard. Can you give us and our viewers an idea about the port's strategic location, its importance, and what these technical terms mean?
Yes, absolutely. Well, as the only commercial port in Bahrain, we take over 90% of all goods through the port. So obviously it's very, very important to keep those goods moving in and out of Bahrain. In terms of the location, we're strategically located for the Saudi Arabia market, but also to the northern Gulf as well, so very, very strategically located.
Yes.
We recently won an award, so we were nominated as the best terminal operator for the GCC, which was by APMT, and that looked at all of our operating systems. So it looked at how productive we were, how efficient we were. It also looked at our health and safety and our profitability as well. So that tells you that we are at the top of our game in APM Terminals at Khalifa bin Salman Port.
It's amazing.
Something we're very proud of.
It's not just vessels that carry products, but also when it comes to the tourism sector of the kingdom, the port operates a passenger terminal directly contributing to developing this tourism sector. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, absolutely. The passenger terminal port is one of the strategic locations for us also at the port, and we're responsible for helping facilitate maintaining those facilities and also helping the relevant government bodies, the tourism sector, to help attract more vessels.
Right.
Bahrain, obviously a very beautiful country. It's one of the top destinations for cruise vessel liners, especially luxury cruises, and we do our best to make sure that when they come here they have the best facilities we have to offer. The sort of things that we will assist with are making sure that the vessels come in and depart on time, that we have adequate facilities for disembarking and embarking passengers, helping tour operators, taxi drivers come into the port. So we facilitate that good access in and out of the port. And more recently we opened a duty-free outlet as well, which is obviously very important to passengers. Prior to COVID, in 2019 we had 62 vessels, cruise liners, come into the port, and just in the holiday season, and that was around about 130,000 tourists coming into Bahrain. Obviously, COVID is a different place, and we're really looking forward to that season starting off again, hopefully either the end of this year or early next year. But our facilities are ready and waiting for when that happens.
Definitely soon. When it comes to the passenger terminal, were there some kind of, I mean, you mentioned health and safety, were there some kind of standards that had to be changed or implemented in order to facilitate or to basically have passengers come into the port?
Health and safety is at the core of what we do. It's something that is part of our values, it's part of our behaviours, it's part of absolutely our day-to-day standard processes, our way of working. So it's something that's always at the forefront. We've recently been had our accreditation for ISO accredited, and you know, that, again, that's something that we're very proud of. But you know, to give you an example of how important it is for us, every single week, every single one of the senior management team is out and about in the terminal. We call them leader-led safety walks, and they go out and really talk to the frontline workforce about what they're doing, observe, talk to them, asking them how they can improve things. We really do believe that we can only improve with safety from the real frontline workforce who are actually doing the day-to-day tasks every day. So listening to what they have to say, understanding their pain points, getting their feedback, how they can improve is really, really critical. And it's something, as I said, that we do not take lightly. It's a very, very serious.
It's a huge responsibility on them as well, especially with this with the pandemic now being a everyday thing that we do have to face. Now, the port, the company is committed to developing Bahrain's maritime business and transshipment operations. Can you talk to us more about the exerted efforts and launch initiatives in this regard?
Yes, well, we've been operating the port now for almost 15 years, and we've had 15 amazing years of growth in terms of volume that's come through the port and the terminal, both for transshipment and other cargoes. Transshipment is something that we're focusing on relentlessly. It's at the forefront of what we do every single day, and this year we recently inaugurated a new shipping line, CMS for us, and the authorities, PMA, came down and helped us inaugurate that. So that was a great achievement, and it really does underline the importance of the port and Bahrain and its strategic location. But it's something we continue to work on and continued to focus on growing that element of our business.
Absolutely. Well, the Transportation and Telecommunications Minister, Mr. Kamal bin Ahmed, has recently inaugurated a new vessel traffic management system, a VTMS. Can you tell us more about that system and how would it contribute effectively to achieving the aspired goals that you have set, that the port has set for itself?
Yes, absolutely. Well, the vessel traffic management system, if you like, is the air traffic control for ships. For ships. So it's hugely important to ensure the safety of those vessels coming in and out. We have a very complex structure. We don't just have container vessels coming into the port. We also, as you mentioned earlier, have passenger cruise liners, we have cargo vessels, we have naval ships, and we have also livestock coming through. So there's a huge amount of different types of vessels, and it's critical that we have the most state-of-the-art system that can communicate with each and every one of them to make sure that those vessels come in safely. And it's fully integrated with our operational network as well, so we can contact and speak to anybody at any time to guide vessels in and out of the system. So it's something, again, that we're very proud of. It is a state-of-the-art system, and we were very happy to have that inaugurated by the Minister.
In order to be sure that there is quality, that there is security, safety, and especially like with the environmental systems that are vital to the pillars of the Khalifa bin Salman's Port work and operations. I mean, what you mentioned, these different types of ships that come in, the different crews that come in, the different technicalities that are there. Is there some kind of a collaboration between the ports, between the company and, for instance, local institutions that understand or can be a part of these technicalities or these language?
Absolutely. We work with all different types of the authorities. We work obviously very closely with PMA, we work very closely with Minister of Transportation and Telecommunications, but also EDB, also the exports and imports as well. So everybody is part of the wider stakeholder network that we communicate to on a very, very regular basis. We have to keep up to date with standards, and we have very, very stringent standards within the port itself, which are annually reviewed. And as I said, we also do the safety walks on a regular basis. So we're constantly reviewing and making sure that we are up to speed, and our safety standards and is at the top of the industry, and we remain best in class.
Coming back to these collaborations and cooperations, how important are they for the flow of work in the port? How do you value them?
Our customers, our stakeholders, we really do feel are partners of ours. We've very much moved away from a supplier type relationship. And as I say, meeting very, very regularly with our customers, our stakeholders, listening to them, understanding them. What are their pain points? How can we facilitate and help grow our business and grow the economy for Bahrain? So it's incredibly important that we have, as I say, it's a partnership approach. So listening and having those dialogues two ways, as opposed to that supplier type mentality.
Absolutely. Yeah. What can you tell us about the provided e-services and their importance, especially during the COVID health circumstances?
Well, COVID, I think, hit everybody and took everybody by surprise. And it was a huge catalyst, obviously, for technological advancements. I think most companies were actually on some sort of technological journey, but this really did have to act as that, as I said, that catalyst. So for us, we really set about looking at how we could transform our customer and stakeholder journey through the port to make it as safe as possible. So that involved creating much more platforms which were online, so introducing track and trace where people could really help to search for where their cargoes were at any point in time, online e-booking, looking at booking in cargoes online, and also looking to see what empties were available in the port and whether they actually were could fulfill their orders. And that's something that we continue with, we're very proud of. In fact, our booking system, which came online earlier this year, has gone from strength to strength, and we now have over 80% of our bookings actually done online, which is a great achievement. And I'm really glad that our customers are reacting in that way and obviously utilising that improved service.
Definitely. Ms. Bannerman, when it comes to the implementation of these technologies and e-services, do you feel that it has improved the services in terms of faster time or shorter time of getting the client getting answers to whatever question or queries he might have?
Absolutely. We, as I said, the CRM system, which was also introduced, allows us to almost instantly react to our customer queries. Obviously, they need to be investigated, and we need to make sure we have the right information, but it does give us a much faster response time. And these systems that have been implemented have also helped improve our productivity. It's helped improve our efficiencies through the port. And in terms of APM Terminals, we're actually the second most efficient port in our network. And we're working on being the first, of course.
Amazing. When it comes to efficiency, a big part of it is also sustainability, and e-services do really contribute to the sustainability, not just the sustainability of the business or the products that are being sold or services that are being sold, as well as the environmental sustainability and how it affects the people around us. APM Terminals Bahrain's internship program is developed to support current students and introduce them to the business environment. Can you give us and our viewers a brief idea about this program?
Yes, it's a huge focus for us, our internship program, and we have it every single year. We've had it for 3 years now, and through those 3 years we've had 39 interns come through, which we are incredibly pleased about. We work very closely with local education authorities, and particularly Bahrain Polytechnic. And for us it's really critical, so that we start with educating the young students about opportunities that exist in the port, and it's real life. They don't come in to the port and then are sat behind a desk. They come into the port, they join us on real live work issues, they're given real projects, and they work on those projects from end to end. And it's completed at the end with a presentation to the senior management where they are grilled, as you would be in real life. And we are absolutely amazed with the talent that is coming through, and these are our future leaders. So it's something that's very close to our heart and something we continue to invest in, and we get as much out of these internships as I'm sure the students do. I just want to elaborate at this point. This program doesn't develop the students only for the Bahrain market, but actually for the maritime market in relation to other terminals around the world. True or not? Completely, yes. I mean, one of our succession planning focus areas are looking at potential within the organisation and where can they move across the world, and it could be absolutely anywhere, and it's not limited just to APM Terminals. They could go anywhere with the skills and
the knowledge that they acquire.
Absolutely, absolutely.
One of APM Terminal Bahrain's main drivers of success is its people and its focus in investing in Bahraini workforce. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, of course. We have currently around 64% Bahrainis within the terminal, and it's something that we're focusing on very, very much. Of that 64%, 66% of them are actually people leaders. So it's absolutely amazing. And it has to be our legacy. We need to create the future leaders, as you say, not just for Bahrain, but for anywhere that they wish to go within the world, really. It's really important that we develop our people so that they become leaders in the global logistics sector. And we have a very good talent development program headed up by our very capable HR team, who really do look at individual needs. So it's not just about looking at what does that team need, it's looking at individual needs and how we can grow and develop those individuals. So it's something that we're continually working on. In fact, in the next month we will be announcing a brand new program to bring in another 8 Bahraini young, talented individuals to what we're calling the Accelerate program, and an additional 3 Bahrainis to come in to look at our marine business as well. So it's something that we're really looking forward to announcing, and we really do hope that we get a huge amount, I'm sure we will, a huge amount of response. So we continue to get that young and talented pipeline of future leaders into our business.
Right. Well, when it comes to the success of an institution such as the APM Terminals, a lot of it goes into indicators that you look, the KPIs that you put in front of yourself, what you want to achieve. So after more than 10 years of performing its essential duties, how does the Khalifa bin Salman Port assess its success, and what are the indicators?
Well, obviously volume, how much volume is coming through, and obviously profit, because that's very important, and the return to our shareholders. But there are many, many other indicators, as you rightly suggest. For us, it's our sustainability. So how are we doing in terms of bringing Bahrainis through the organisation and developing into leaders? It's also around how we're doing on health and safety, so making sure everybody goes home safe from work every single day. But it's also how do our customers see us? So what's our, it's called NPS, so what's our NPS score, and how are we doing versus global best practice? So very much listening to what our customers are saying. But it's also around productivity, it's around efficiency, and turn time. So, we need to make sure that there's a balance of a lot of measures that go into a successful operation, of course.
Yes, of course. APM Terminals celebrates its 20th anniversary as an independent business and brand. How do you value 2 decades of constant success?
We value it very much. I mean, our sole reason for being here is to grow the economy of Bahrain, and as I said earlier, we have been operating the port now for 15 years, and for 15 years we've seen growth year on year in terms of what we're doing. We believe we're educating the local Bahraini and bringing them through, and we are operating a terminal that has won an award just in this last year across several matrix. So for us, it's critical that we continue to do that. We continue to grow the economy and support non-oil GDP growth, and work continually with the relevant government bodies, EDP, Chamber of Commerce, to really drive and help support the vision of Bahrain for 2030. Yeah.
Well, Bahrain has been leading a lot of basically fields, but one thing that Bahrain has been leading for a very long time is producing leadership, women leaders, especially in different technical fields. But when it comes to the Khalifa bin Salman Port, we want to know from you, being a highly experienced business leader in the global shipping and integrated logistics industry, what can you tell us about women's empowerment and contribution to this important sector?
Well, I think the ports and maritime industry is probably one of the most male-dominated industries left. But it's also an incredibly exciting industry, and one that's going through a huge amount of development and change. And for me, I think making that industry much more diverse and bringing in more females, I think can only add to that future development. And I think it needs to start very early in the education element of universities. So the programs we talked about earlier, Internship and the Accelerate program that we are developing, I think will be critical to demonstrate to the future female leaders that actually ports are not just places where we move one container from one place to another. There are many, many exciting opportunities in ports. You can go into operations, you can go into engineering, you could go into commercial, you can go into HR, you can go into so many different industries within the port sector, and it really is a dynamic place to have a career and to grow. So for me, it's part of my mission to help to educate and get the message out there that actually a career in logistics, in transportation, in ports is an exciting career. And you rightly say, Bahrain are pioneers in developing and really being diverse in terms of women leaders. So I'm certainly in the right place to help support that.
Definitely. I mean, when people look at the maritime field in general, they look at it as an intimidating field when it comes for women, but it is something that people can conquer from different kind of fields that they go through. You've mentioned administrative fields as well as technical ones. What are the future plans and upcoming projects prepared by APM Terminals Bahrain?
Well, obviously we're still suffering a little bit from COVID. Technology obviously remains a big focus area for us, digitization. So continuing to liaise with our stakeholders and our customers on, again, those pain points. How can we make the logistics journey through Bahrain to the end destination easier, more efficient, more productive, quicker? So there's a lot more to come in terms of technology. For us, it's also around more education and training programs that are coming through to develop our leaders. We'll also be looking at the end-to-end logistics sector and how can we bring on new services that really help to promote Bahrain as a fantastic strategic port that it is, and really drive those services. So there's a lot more to come for APMT and KPSB working in partnership together.
Hopefully. Well, before we end today's show, you talked a lot about safety and about quality. Do you feel that there is a need for more awareness to be spread about these facts when it comes to basically maritime terminals such as APM, the work that they do? Is there more awareness needed for the public, for people that come into this kind of business?
No, absolutely. And a great example of that is, coincidentally, this Thursday is Global Safety Day. And APMT as a terminal are working very closely with PMA. We're working closely with the traffic authorities. And we're holding big activities around the port in terms of driving that safety message. For us, it isn't just about safety in the workplace, it's about safety, a safety mindset that you take with you wherever you go. So if you're driving on the roads, if you're cooking at home, or if you're out playing, it's about that safety mindset. So activities like these will certainly help that message.
That's amazing. Thank you very much, Ms. Bannerman, for being with us, for answering our questions today.
Thank you very much.
And we'd also like to thank you, dear viewers, for watching us, and we'll see you next week in another episode of Inside Edition.